Hello, my name's Julie from So Unique and welcome to episode 79. Well, I know I've been away for a few weeks. I don't really know how long I've been away. I have a feeling it could be somewhere between a month and 6 weeks. I reckon it's about 6 weeks. Well, as you know, my mother-in-law's not been very well. Everything's fine, she's okay. There's nothing seriously wrong with her. We had probably the first 3 weeks sort of being up there practically every day. I mean, we've sort of taken it in turns to go up and sort her out, really. But Kevin and myself have spent 2 Wednesday evenings, a 6-hour and a 7-hour stint in A&E with her. And luckily everything was okay. She had lots of scans, x-rays, everything, and they found nothing. So they just gave her some painkillers because she was in pain and sent her home. So we didn't come home till about 3 o'clock in the morning. But on one occasion, my daughter-in-law went with her to the hospital, and then when Kevin came in from work, we sort of went through and swapped over. But it's a tiring time being stuck in A&E for that long. But luckily, with her age, we didn't have to go into the reception area to wait to be seen. They took us through a different entrance, so she was actually on a bed for all of that time. And it was quite quiet in there as well. I think we went in one of the Wednesdays. I think the nurses and junior doctors were on strike, so it was quite quiet in there, and this is probably why we were in there such a long time. Anyhow, things started to settle down. Last week things started up again, and it's a case of going up there, lots of phone calls, making sure that she eats, and she eats properly, and she eats at the right time, and she has the tablets, reassurance, I suppose. She gets worried about things, and then all sorts flare up. She's in pain, or she wants to phone the doctor. I think she's got 111 on speed dial. We've had lots of phone calls to 111 with her, lots of phone calls to the doctor, everything. And this morning I was on the phone with her, and she said, I'm not very well, I think I need to call 111. And I said, I think you're okay. I said, you spoke to the doctor the other day and they did say to you, yeah, they couldn't do anything for me at the minute. So I said, yeah. I said, but if you take your tablets, eat, I said, sit down, have a cup of tea, I said, hopefully it'll go off. And Jake went up there and sorted out her breakfast and everything, and she was fine. And she actually had a mid-morning snack as well. I keep trying to get her to eat small meals often throughout the day, so she could end up with like 6 small meals, but she doesn't always get that. That's what she's got to do. So at the moment I haven't heard anything from her for the rest of the day, so obviously everything is fine. So I'm home from work, as it's Saturday. You know, I don't even know what date we're on at the minute. Well, I think are we on the 3rd of June? I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow, it doesn't matter, does it? So I thought, as Kevin and Adele are out, they're at a fair in York, I thought I would pop on and do a quick video. Now, I don't know how long this video is going to be. It might not be very long, but you can see what I've actually been doing, even though I didn't do any crafting for the first 3 weeks. And then I started to take a little bit of knitting with me, because often she would drop to sleep in an afternoon. So I thought, get my knitting out and work on my socks. But yeah, apart from that, I haven't really done a great deal apart from going to work. But I have been trying to sort of get myself back into my crafting, sort of get back into a normal routine. And then, I must say, a couple of weeks ago, might be more than that actually, my laptop went kaput. So I had no laptop for editing my videos or anything. So I have got to sort of learn to do it on my phone, or I've got to download an editing program for my phone. So I'm just hoping this works because I just can't afford to go out and buy a new laptop at the minute, so I'm sort of trying to save up for that. And then I've got to repurchase the program for editing my videos, because that was on the old laptop and you can't transfer the editing software from one lap to another. The key is a one-time use, and that is that. So that's another expense. So it just all seems to be happening at once at the moment. Anyhow, I'm just going to have a sip of water and we'll get into what I've been up to. Right, well, if you remember when I last filmed, I'd got some socks that I was working on. Oh yes, it was the ball of yarn from Dawn that I had for Christmas, and I can't remember the colourway now, but I finally finished them. This is what I took with me while I was sort of sitting there in an afternoon while my mother-in-law was asleep, and they've turned out really nice. I've not blocked them or anything yet. I just sat them on the blockers so they were ready to show. But I love the colours of this yarn, and I really don't mind that they don't match. I like things that don't match, to be honest. So yeah, so now I can actually take these off the blockers and put them away in my sock drawer, which is good. So I decided to skein up another ball of yarn, and this yarn is from Attic Spin Dye, and it's called Pastel Rainbow, and it's a superwash merino and nylon, 75% and 25%, 100-gram ball. And I haven't got very far. I got the cuff and I've just started on the leg, so I haven't done any of this for a while, but I'm going to try and maybe take it to work with me and just do a little bit, or maybe try and do a little bit in the evening. And I'm going to have a break from cross stitch because I've been doing quite a lot of cross stitch of late. But this is beautiful yarn. I mean, the colours are absolutely gorgeous, and it is so soft. It's beautiful yarn, so I'm absolutely loving this. Can't wait for these to be finished. And then we had the King's Coronation, so I did get a cross stitch for that, and it was from, let's see, I can't think of the name now, but I've had one off this lady before. Now I've turned it into a cushion. Now, as you can see, I'm missing a bit of the side there. I don't know where my head was when I cut this out, because I had to cut it down, and I'm thinking to myself, give myself an inch all the way around, inch, and I chopped that right up close. I'd got one square left, and that was it. So I had to sort of, I thought, I'm not throwing it away, I'm going to have to do something with it. So I ironed this on a piece of fleece interfacing, and I folded the fabric over to form a hem, and then I just ironed them both together, and I have put a row of stitches right down here, so it's held in place, and luckily it's worked. So it's just a little stuffed cushion using some fabric that I already got, but it's a really nice little design, and I don't know, I'm just going to sit that on the shelf somewhere or in the china cabinet. So that was a really nice stitch out. I think it took me over a week to do, well, just, yeah, during the week, a week it took me to do, and yeah, so I really enjoyed it. So I seem to be in a cross stitch mood at the minute, or I have been. What else have I been doing? Oh yes, I did make a bag. It's one of these that there's no poppers on or anything, and it's just reasonably stiff. It has been folded up and laid flat for a while, so that's why it's not quite got its shape. but I'm using this gorgeous fabric. Now I'm trying to think what this fabric's called. You know, I can't remember what it's called, but I have got all the fabric on the website. It's a lovely collection, and yeah, I love these strip bags. And I also made to go with it a little tray. So for me, I would put my scissors in here and my embroidery floss while I'm doing my cross stitch. So that can sit on the arm of the chair then. And you can fold it up if you want to as well. Right, so what else have I been doing? Right, cross stitch. Well, you know, I've been working on Halloween cross stitch. I'm hoping you can see this, but I have actually done quite a bit. Up to this part of the pumpkin here is one page, so I'm on the second page now. So it's another big pumpkin, and there'll be more motifs, and then there's a smaller pumpkin to go on the end. But I'm really enjoying doing this. Yeah, I've been putting it in my frame. I've been using my Lowry stand, which has been good, but I could do with like a longer bar, even though I've got the longest bar that they do. The arm of my chair is quite wide, so I feel like I'm sat at a funny angle. So I've got a bit of backache at the minute, so I've taken it out of the Lowry stand, and I'm probably going to stitch in hand for a while now. But I'm enjoying that. But I'm having a little break from it for now, because I wanted to start on my snowflake design, just to have a change really for what I'm doing. So the design I'm doing, oops, there goes my pattern, is from Hello from Liz Matthews, and it's called Quaker Snowflakes. Excuse me a minute. I think it's from the same one as the pumpkin, I think. Oh, see, I'm a bit disorganised today. First time back. So I'm doing this one with a bluey background, and I have searched everywhere for some sort of bluey coloured mottled blue Ada. Now, what have they used? Oh, the fabric for that is 32 count haunted linen, and that's from Picture This Plus. And I'm assuming that's in America somewhere, but I don't know if you can see the sort of mottled effect on the blue Ada. Well, I couldn't find any anywhere. Anyhow, I had a look on Etsy, and I found some 14 count Ada, because I can't use anything finer than that, because I just can't see it. And I thought, oh wow, that is the perfect colour. And I thought, it's probably a bit darker than what I want, but I know how the resolution on the screen, so it'll turn up a bit lighter. When it turned up, it was like a sky blue. So it was way too light, so that was a bit disappointing. So hence it gave me the push I needed to actually dye my own Ada. So I had a little go, and I dyed 4 pieces of Ada, and the one I picked is the first piece that I did. Now, I don't know how much of this mottling you'll see, but that's as far as I've got. Well, the mottling's picking up quite well on there, and I was really pleased with it. So this had been, I dyed it and I wasn't happy with the blue. Having never done this before, I've just had to sort of play around. But this has been over dyed, I've dyed it 4 times altogether, slightly different colours, and eventually I got what I wanted, and so I'm really, really pleased. So now I can dye my own Ada for whatever project I'm doing, and I'm so happy. So that gave me a little bit of something to do on my days off when I wasn't going to my mother-in-law's. And yeah, so, and I'm working on, I'm just down here on this bit at the minute, sort of doing one of the trees that's at the bottom of the pattern, and I think that colour stands out quite well on there. I like it. So these are nice, easy, small motifs, so I don't need to concentrate too much on these. If I go wrong, I can actually see where I've gone wrong, whereas on the pumpkin one I can't. Oh dear. So right, I'll show you this one first before. This is the bookmark that I was working on with my friend Dawn. Now I don't think Dawn's quite finished hers yet, but I've done all the cross stitching. I've just got to do the back stitch. Back stitch is not my favourite, but I suppose one afternoon when it's all quiet, I'll just sit down and probably put my book on, and I will just listen to it, and I'll just try and get it done. So I can't wait until this is actually finished, and then I can turn it into a bookmark, and I can actually use it, because I'm in desperate need of a bookmark again, as usual. So I'm using, I think, a bit of tissue at the minute. But this was a nice, easy stitch, and loved it. So I'm looking forward to doing some more little projects. Right, as I said, I've been dyeing some Ada, so I will show you one or two of the bits that I've done. Now these are, that's a nice one, that's turned out really well, sort of purpley and greens, and I thought that might do for my one of my Easter stitches with the flowers. So that's one, and this is another piece. Similar colour. I think this one's slightly darker. This one I left in for slightly longer. So I think this is going to be a new hobby for me, because I'm obsessed. I just want to dye Ada now. Right, this is, I think I might stand up for this. Oh. This is a lighter blue one, but that's turned out really well. I love that one. And then the next one is quite a dark blue. It's very dramatic, I think, this one, but it's turned out really well. And then the last one is a mottled grey one. I think I might use this one. I think I showed in my last vlog the bee with some flowers round, and it was on a black background. So I think I might keep this one for that. I'll try it, but then again I might over dye this one and make it a little bit darker. I just don't want to work on black. So I thought this would look quite nice for that. So I think that's everything for sort of makes and that I've done. I have excuse me, I have got a couple of purchases, so I think I'll show you them next. Right, I don't know where it's gone. Right, the first thing I got was a tabletop stand. Now this is really nice, it works really, really well. I got this off Amazon. I think it was about £35, and it came from Germany, but I had ordered one before I got this, a bit cheaper, and it went straight back because it just didn't work. But this will sit on the table, and I can also sit it on my lap tray while I'm in the living room and still use my light from my Lowry stand, which is really good, and I found it very, very useful for small projects. And I have put my pumpkin in as well. That's what I've been working on in here. The only thing I don't like about it is when you undo these bits, it all just sort of falls apart on you. And underneath, I don't know if you can see it, you've got a couple of nuts there. So this just slides round, so you can have it 2 legs for a hoop, or just put one on if you wish. And you can turn it, but I do find it's a little bit of faff getting the hoop in and out of these, because there's cutouts in both of these sides for your hoop to fit in. But apart from that, it works really, really well, and I am enjoying using it. So I've kept it out here for a little while, because I did do a little bit of cross stitch one evening out here just to see how I got on, because I've got my one of my lights here, and I've also got a magnifying lamp here, and yes, it does work really well, apart from 1 or 2 little faults that I'm not keen on. But you know, I've been looking for a tabletop stand for ages, and that was the best one I could come up with. Right, the other thing I've bought is oh, excuse me. Oh, I've got a really dry throat. I went to the works last week, and I managed to find 3 books for £6. Now, the first one is like one of your love stories. I seem to get the same type of ones each time. This is Finding Love in Sunshine Island. So this one sounds quite good. I'll pop it there so you can always pause the video to read it. I don't want to read it out because I'll start coughing. And the second one is Murder at the Summer Fete. So this sounds like it's there's more books in the series, so I'll see how I get on with this one, and if I like it, I will go and have a look on either Amazon for the books or Audible if there's any books. And luck would have it that I came across the Dinner Lady Detectives as well from the works. I was really, really surprised, because this is book 3. I didn't even know there was a book 3 out, because the last 2 books were really, really good, and this one was really good as well. So even though I've only had it a week, I've just about finished it, because I've been reading this every night before I go to bed, and I've been stopping up late to read the book. But if you're a murder mystery buff, cozy mysteries, then I think you'll enjoy it. But yeah, the works is actually quite good, I must admit. I was very surprised to find this one there, very surprised. So I think after I finish these 2 books, I'll pop back and see if they've got anything else, because they do have a good selection. I have been listening to other books, but I'll probably talk about that next time, when I know how far I got in the last vlog with what I was reading or whatever. Otherwise I'm going to be repeating myself. I think that might be everything, actually. Yeah, so that's all I've got to show you anyhow. It was very, very late this year planting any seeds in the garden and in my greenhouse. I haven't got much on the go, because I've not really been here, and the few peas and beans that I did start off a few weeks ago all died, because I never got a chance to water them. By the time I got home some nights, I was just absolutely shattered. So I have started again. So I've got peas and beans in the greenhouse. The beans, a lot of the beans were doing okay, and then I've lost some with this heat. The peas haven't even sprouted yet, so I think I might try and do some more. I might soak them this time, see if that works. I have 9 tomato plants in the garden. They're all thriving. I've got one or two courgette plants, which I think I only put them in the pots last week, and they're about that big, so they're coming on nicely. The strawberries are doing okay. The garlic seems to be doing okay. The bottom leaves are starting to die off, so I think it'll be time for digging up the garlic soon, which can't wait. The onion set, I should say, that's coming along well. I'm not really sure when I can dig them up, but I'll have to read up on these. What else is doing? My clematis is doing okay. My two rose bushes, my William Austin rose bushes, aren't doing very well this year. Unfortunately I didn't clip them down, did I, earlier on in the year, so they're flowering, but the leaves don't look brilliant on parts of the plant, so I will have to make sure I sort that out. What else? I think that's probably about it. So what I might do is in next week's vlog, well, I think the next vlog is maybe put a little bit of video of the garden, like what I'm growing. I'm going to see if I can start some more seeds off soon as well. Yeah, so I think that's probably about it for now. I'm not sure when I'll be back again. I am going to definitely try and get back into vlogging, definitely. I'm not sure it's going to be weekly, but what I'm going to do is just film bits, and then I'm going to put something together and just see what I can come up with. So I'm not going to be away too long. But I hope everybody's well, and it's nice to be back, and I hope everybody has a lovely week. I hope you're all enjoying this nice weather that we're having, and take care, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.